How do you? So you talked about like, hey, if I'm getting paid to do a set, I need that to be my best material. But how do you work in a new joke into one of those sets to see like I'm going to test this joke out in front of a paying audience, see if it has legs. Tell me how do you work a joke into your set, a new one.
Yeah, I think the best way is like the sandwich method where you
Mm-hmm.
put it between like two really good jokes and you just throw the new one in the middle.
Okay.
Um, I think it obviously depends on the subject matter too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it relates to the your best jokes, if you can even sandwich it in the middle.
Okay.
Um, I that's like the theoretical method I'd like to do, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I get a little too eager and I love to just throw a new joke right up top.
Okay.
Like after my first couple of opening jokes. So yeah, it's the combination of the two.
Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't do
Well, no, I
that.
mean, but let's say you're in the midst of a new joke, and let's say it's
Yeah.
very new, and there's three big punchlines that you want to hit. All right, and the
Hmm.
first one doesn't go over well. Do
Yeah.
you do you do you try to go for number two, number three, or do you bail immediately and go to another hitter?
I'd probably go for number two, and
Hmm.
if I struck out on that one, then I would just like pause for a second and just switch gears.
Okay.
So I'd bail before the third one.
Use
In the
baby look.
middle.
In the middle, do you? I mean, I'm sure you don't do this, but I'll ask anyways. Do you tell the crowd this is a new joke, or like?
No, no,
Okay.
no, no.
So what is it that like? What do
I
you?
will afterwards. I did
Yeah.
that this past weekend. I did something brand new for the first time.
Yeah.
And I told the crowd afterwards, all right, that was brand new. I wanted to try it for me. You guys seem to like it. I'm happy with it. I'll do it again. But thank you for being the first three people to hear it.
Okay. Okay.
And
Cool.
that didn't get any laughs, even though I thought that was funny. But that was me addressing the situation.
Okay. And
For sure. I sandwich it. I
yeah.
sandwich it in between two bangers. Like
Okay.
I sometimes what I like to do, I probably shouldn't. I like to put it at the beginning of the set somewhere because so it's still fresh and I won't forget anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to put it in between two ones that I know work because if it doesn't work, I just get right out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right.
Yeah.
But if it's a new joke, Jerry Seinfeld always said, "Don't start with something new because blah blah." But I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that I have something new that I don't want to forget it. So I just start with the new that I'm excited about, and if
Yeah.
it bombs, well, guess what? I have solid material to get me out of the hole.
Yeah. Okay. So you usually put your new joke at the very beginning, and that way, like if you're doing a 45-minute set and the first 3 minutes are bad, then you have 42 other minutes to get the audience back in, kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
All right. Cool.
I always use the word sandwich. You never want
Mm-hmm.
to start with something new and you never
Mhm.
want to end with something
Mhm.
new. You want to, that's just the safety
Mhm.
of have something before it that will work and something after.
Mhm.
And that's really it. I mean, I've never been a big fan of segues. I don't
Mhm.
give a shit about
Yeah.
if things flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes just a proper pause will do that. So just
Okay.
put it in between. Yeah.
It's like I'm always like big fan of like I guess most comics. I know comics that will open on new jokes, but I always like it in the middle of a set, with a 10-minute set, 45-minute set,
Mhm.
somewhere, and then get a read on it after you already got people laughing, and then I don't. I think back in the day, I used to just write all this stuff and like finish it, and they don't know what you're talking about. They're bored out of their minds. It's not making sense to them. So now I'm like, I'll get into it. I don't just panic and jump out of it because the first line doesn't work, but
Mhm.
I might give it another line. But I'm not going to waste 4 minutes of their time just being self-indulgent, staring at the ceiling, trying to find it.
Yeah.
So I just, I give a setup, punch, and then you can pretty much tell early on, like, this is not just going to come around magically.
Mhm.
It's not ready, or I screwed it up tonight.
Mhm.
So that's what I do. I always like it in like a small, setup, punch, maybe a tag, and then if that's going well by the second tag or the second line, then all right, try to squeeze out another one on stage, and then if that goes well, keep riding it, and then once it fizzles, sort of get out of it.
Okay.
Go.
Now, how?
I always feel.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I always feel like, I want to laugh, and I'm not going to panic because there's silence, but I'm not going to wait 3 minutes.
Yeah. I get that. Now, how often will you try certain punchlines? And I'm talking about like revising them until you're like, I'm scrapping this joke altogether. Like, how often will you coddle a joke or whatever until you are like, that's it, I'm done. I shouldn't have done that. But it's like, how often does that? Like, how many times? I know you probably don't have a mathematical formula, but what is your litmus test for abandoning a joke or stripping it for parts or whatever?
If I really like it, I mean, I'll really beat the ground and I'll really try it a lot.
Okay.
And an idea excited about it. The problem with me a lot of times is that I am very wordy, and I get jammed up a lot of times. In that it could be a funny idea. I know it's funny deep down, and then I get a lot of words. I have the tendency to like make it cluttered and strip it down. Very basic, probably joke writing for a lot of comics. Sort of tough for me. I'll get married to this idea of like, this is the way I want to say it. And like, they don't understand. And to get it through my hard head, sometimes it has to be. It takes me a bit before you like really strip it or find the way that clicks for me. It makes sense to me that I can and get it across to them. And so a lot of times it's the setup. It's just getting in and the setup of making it a clear, concise idea for them. And I struggle with that. So, but I've had jokes where I think I used to be worse about it. I'm just beating it to the ground and not changing it fast enough. Just like, I know it's funny, but I'm not. It needs to be rewritten, edited down. And I'm trying to get better with that. But
first joke. The first joke you say is brand new. Wow. Yeah. That's the first time I've heard that. I've heard people say they put it towards the beginning so they can get out of the way and see it. But being at the first, so that's your opening joke is the first joke.
To me, it's if it's that new, it's eating away at my mind, and it's just the thing I'm thinking about, and I gotta get it out of the way. Otherwise, I won't be able to concentrate on what else I'm doing.
Now, let's say that joke goes south. What do you do then? Do you automatically go for a hitter, like a home run kind of joke, or do you go right into your next kind of like the way?
Depends on the situation. Depends on the audience.
If it's like something that I could tie in with like a topical thing, I might open with it just as like I was just thinking about this and like, or I just noticed that today or read it in the news, and then. But typically, I would say it's somewhere in the middle of the set. I usually like close with something that I know how that's going to go, and I open with something that I know how that's going to go. A lot of times it'll be like I said, like I'll have a bit that's working already, and I'll be like, I think I can add this line onto that bit, even though it's like. Should be its own joke, but I'll try to like have some, even if it's BS, some segue between things, and then like I'm trying in the back of my head, what I'm trying to do is like if it bombs, to make it as like graceful as possible, that it didn't feel like we went all our way over here to hear this dumb idea that makes no sense. It's more like we took a little detour and it didn't work out, but now we're back. It's much less painful for the audience, so I try to do that as much as possible.
Awesome.